NASA's Europa Clipper tests radar at Mars, a step closer to Jupiter's moon, Europa. Mars has made its presence known as NASA's Europa Clipper spacecraft conducts a crucial radar test during its swift passage past the red planet on its journey to Europa, one of Jupiter's intriguing moons. The primary purpose of the flyby in March was to utilize Mars's gravitational force to adjust the trajectory of the Europa Clipper. However, scientists seized the opportunity to fine-tune the spacecraft's infrared camera and test its radar system ahead of its anticipated arrival at Europa in 2030, as confirmed by NASA. Testing the flight version of the radar instrument on Earth posed challenges. While engineering models were evaluated outside the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL, in Southern California, the actual flight hardware had to remain sterile, limiting tests to a cleanroom environment. NASA boasts some of the largest cleanrooms available, and the spacecraft was assembled and tested in the expansive High Bay 1 cleanroom at JPL. Unfortunately, there was insufficient space to conduct a full test of the assembled radar. NASA indicated that a chamber approximately 250 feet, 76 meters long, would have been necessary to evaluate the echo or return signals from the instrument. The radar, known as REASON, Radar for Europa Assessment and Sounding, Ocean to Near Surface, features two pairs of antennas extending from the massive solar arrays of the Europa Clipper. Given that scientists have been analyzing Martian landscapes for many years, it was deemed an ideal location to perform a preliminary test of the instrument and identify any potential issues before the spacecraft reaches Europa. As the spacecraft flew by Mars, it transmitted radio waves, starting from a distance of 3,100 miles, 5,000 kilometers, down to just 550 miles, 884 kilometers, above the surface. This operation resulted in the collection of 60 gigabytes of data, which began transmitting back to Earth in mid-May. Upon reaching Europa, the radar instrument is expected to function as close as 16 miles, 25 kilometers from the moon's surface. NASA has declared the test a success. Trina Ray, the deputy science manager for Europa Clipper at JPL, expressed the team's excitement, stating, "The engineers were thrilled, but their test worked flawlessly. The scientists witnessing the data for the first time were overjoyed. They are now getting a head start on learning how to process the data and understand the instrument's performance in relation to their models." Europa Clipper, the largest spacecraft ever built by NASA for a planetary mission, was launched in October 2024 aboard a SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket. In addition to the March flyby of Mars, it will also utilize a gravity assist from Earth in 2026 before arriving in the Jupiter system in 2030. Despite the successful radar tests, engineers are anxiously awaiting to see how the spacecraft's electronics will withstand the intense radiation environment of Jupiter. There is a chance that some components may fail, although NASA is optimistic that the affected transistors will be capable of supporting the mission's baseline objectives. Once it reaches Europa, the spacecraft will focus on three primary goals: determining the fitness of the moon's icy shell, investigating its composition, and characterizing its geological properties. This mission holds the potential to unlock secrets about the habitability of worlds beyond our own. What do you think about the challenges faced by NASA in this ambitious mission? Are you excited to see what discoveries await us on Europa? Share your thoughts in the comments. NASA's Europa Clipper, radar breakthrough on Mars flyby. Imagine this. NASA's Europa Clipper just accomplished a feat on Mars that was impossible to replicate on Earth. This groundbreaking achievement has set the stage for an unprecedented exploration of Jupiter's icy moon, Europa. During a close flyby of Mars, the Europa Clipper spacecraft put its radar system, REASON, to the test for the very first time in space. The results were nothing short of spectacular. The radar system flawlessly bounced signals off the Martian surface, proving it's ready to scan Europa's ice shell for signs of a hidden ocean. The 60 gigabytes of data collected not only confirmed the hardware's reliability, but also gave researchers an early chance to refine their analytical tools before the Clipper reaches Jupiter's icy moon in 2030. But here's where it gets controversial. Some scientists argue that the data from Mars might not fully prepare us for the unique conditions on Europa. Could there be unforeseen challenges that the radar system will face once it reaches its final destination? In March, as the Europa Clipper spacecraft soared past Mars, it conducted a pivotal radar test that couldn't be replicated on Earth. After a thorough review of the data, mission scientists confirmed the test was a resounding success. The radar system, REASON, Radar for Europa Assessment and Sounding, Ocean to Near Surface, operated exactly as planned, transmitting and receiving signals from the area near Mars's equator without a hitch. REASON is designed to peer beneath the surface of Europa, Jupiter's fourth largest moon. Scientists are hopeful that it will detect pockets of water within the moon's thick ice shell and possibly even identify the vast ocean believed to lie beneath it. This could revolutionize our understanding of potential habitats for life beyond Earth. "We got everything out of the flyby that we dreamed," said Dom Blankenship, principal investigator of the radar instrument at the University of Texas at Austin. The goal was to determine the radar's readiness for the Europa mission, and it worked. Every part of the instrument proved itself to do exactly what we intended. The radar data will help researchers investigate how material from Europa's subsurface ocean might rise through the ice and reach the surface. It will also allow scientists to study surface features like ridges and examine how they connect with structures detected below the ice. And this is the part most people miss. The radar's ability to provide such detailed insights could uncover hidden processes that shape Europa's surface and subsurface. Europa Clipper has an unusual radar setup for an interplanetary spacecraft. REASON uses two pairs of slender antennas that extend from the solar arrays, spanning a distance of about 58 feet, 17.6 meters. Those arrays themselves are huge, from tip to tip, the size of a basketball court, so they can catch as much light as possible at Europa, which gets about 1/25 the sunlight as Earth. The instrument team conducted all the testing that was possible prior to the spacecraft's launch from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida on October 14th, 2024. During development, engineers at the agency, WhatsApp guest chats. New feature lets you message without an account. Pros, cons explained. Imagine being able to chat with someone on WhatsApp without them needing to have an account. It sounds like a game changer, right? But here's where it gets interesting. The platform is actually working on a feature that allows users to communicate with people who don't have a WhatsApp account. And it's called guest chats. This innovative feature is currently under development and will enable users to share a direct link with the recipient, who can then access the chat without installing the app. And this is the part most people miss. These guest chats will only support one-to-one messages, not group conversations, which is a key limitation. According to reports from WA Beta Info, the feature is still in the development phase and not yet available even to beta testers. It's speculated that guests will interact with the chat via WhatsApp web. What's really noteworthy is that Meta is also working on another feature that will allow WhatsApp users to have third-party chats where contacts are using other applications. Now that's a topic for debate. This new guest chats feature, however, is developed and managed entirely within WhatsApp's own ecosystem. The big question is, will this feature convince more people to join the app who aren't signed up yet? Only time will tell. One thing that's certain, though. is that messages sent in guest chats will be protected by end-to-end encryption, giving users more privacy, just as you'd expect when chatting to registered users. As we get closer to the launch, we should hear more about the technical details of the encryption and functionality. But here's the catch. Guest chats will have significant limitations, including no support for media files, voice messages, video calls, or voice calls. It'll be interesting to see whether these limitations drive users away from the service or lure people into making an account. We should see this translated out in user growth figures reported by Meta once the feature launches. So, what do you think? Will this feature be a hit or a miss? Will the limitations be a deal breaker? Or will the convenience of guest chats win over new users? Let us know in the comments.